So how's your Goggins going?
It's going great. I am still watching his like shorts on YouTube, and he finds a way to inspire me each and every day.
Have you started running yet?
Okay, so let's make one thing clear. I exercise, but I don't run. I have another form of cardio, but I can make it as hardcore as David Goggins needs it to be. I mean, I can get up at I don't know, maybe 3 o'clock to make sure I get it all in.
No wonder. No wonder. That's probably why I've been like sleeping in lately. Is because I'm trying to make up for trying to get some sleep for the both of us.
Lately, I have been very, very tired at night. I think mainly because I've been getting up early.
You've been getting up at 3, or you just said 3? What are you doing at 3? I've stayed up till 3 before.
Not at 3, but maybe 5.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's I get that.
But I have to tell you though, the hours of 4 and 5, I don't know what it is. It's just like an hour difference. But waking up at 4
Right.
was very, very difficult. I don't remember. I think David Goggins gets up at 5:30. I mean, so that sounds like a good time, right?
That's doable. That's doable. That's a Goggin thing I can do right there. I don't know about the rest. I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm not a morning person, but I do attempt. I don't always succeed, but I attempt to get up a little earlier because it's really the only time where no one else is up and everything is just quiet and I can just sit and stare at the wall.
With your coffee, or do you wait?
I usually make. I usually try to make it, and then I'll have intentions to be like I could do something right now, but then I'll sit down and just stare at something and just it's peaceful.
Okay.
I like
That was
that.
so interesting. I do drink coffee, but as you know, I always start my day off with yerba mate.
Right.
So yerba mate, and then the coffee comes later. Um,
So like back to back jolts of caffeine.
yes, basically. Yes. Yes, and I've been drinking it black lately. I don't know
the,
why.
the coffee or the yerba mate.
The coffee. I mean, but I do drink my yerba mate plain.
Right.
Like I use the loose leaf, and then I put it in my little strainer,
Mhm.
teacup.
Do you
So
have is your strainer like one of those that fits in the cup or is it one of those that hangs on the side, like the little dude? You know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah,
oh, yes, yes, yes.
I have one of
I
those.
think I need one of those.
That's the kind I have.
Really?
Yeah, you just place him on it. He just like looks like he's in a jacuzzi.
Truthfully, I think I prefer that, but I have the one that fits in the cup, which
Okay.
is
Practical.
very boring. I'm compared to what you have.
Yours is probably works better than mine. Mine, mine looks like mine looks like someone's going potty.
Oh my gosh.
And no wonder he looks so relaxed. He's just
Right. Oh gosh, speaking of. Okay. We won't delve into that, but I mean I hope we are still in touch.
Like I said, you have to go to a doctor for them to tell you to do something. Don't go.
True.
They don't tell you to do
True.
anything.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, right?
Absolutely.
But I was gonna tell you though that yeah, just 4 and 5 is completely different. 4 took a lot of uh, just a lot of more willpower and
Right.
energy, and I guess that can be the thing that I do that sucks at least once a day that David Goggins was talking about. It builds character, he says, to do at least one thing that you just can't stand or hate.
Were you going to bed at the same time though?
That's what I was going to mention. I think the most difficult thing about waking up early for me is that it's hard for me to get into bed early enough sometimes.
Right.
But when I can, I seem to be okay.
Okay.
But just, I mean, as a night person,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to wake up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on because last night I was gonna get further into the book, and next thing you know, I kind of wake up and I realize I have it closed around my finger, but I'm like kind of like cuddling it, basically like spooning the book. So that's probably why it's so steamy, is because we were just hanging out.
Okay, so I told you my difficulties with, because I was accessing it through the Project Gutenberg,
Right.
and then I was opening it up with Apple Books. But for some reason, it just was not opening up properly each and every time.
That's weird.
So then I finally realized, why not just get the book from Apple Books, since they did have a copy?
Like just for like the little like free things they have sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and it turns out that it's by the same interpreter.
The one that you were previously reading.
Yes.
Oh, that works out.
So I am very interested in why his interpretation, was chosen. But I just want to know about the philosophical discourses that is left out of my edition, I guess. So you'll have to give us the scoop.
I'll try. I don't really know yet. I guess we'll have to compare scenes or something. How far are you?
Okay, so according to Apple Books, I'm on page 100, but I did enlarge the font.
What chapter is it?
Chapter 2 or 3? 2.
Oh.
So it's really
Your
different.
chapters are so different.
Wait, now how are your chapters
Well,
set up?
they're almost like every other page or so. And then there's, like I said, there's 2 like 73s or something, and now found out there's 2 107s.
That is so weird. So do you think that was intentional?
I have no idea. It might have just been a mistake, but the chapters are. I think I've mentioned before how like there was one spot where one page had 3 different chapters on it. So, I guess what's going on in yours? Are you still with William of Warwick, or have you gotten?
We have met Tarrant LeBlanc.
Okay, and is it that dude, the dude telling William about Tarrant, or is it actually Tarrant doing stuff?
Still Tarrant doing stuff.
Huh? Like what's he doing?
Well, he just went back to the hermit,
Uh-huh.
who is Count Warwick, I guess.
Right.
And he is just telling him that the king, has set up this jousting competition or something.
Okay, yeah. So that in mind. That was I'm pretty sure all of that was a story being told to William of Warwick from another character. I mean, Tarrant was like the main character. He was saying like, why is Tarrant the greatest knight or whatever, and yeah, there was like Dira. It starts with a D. The name starts with a D.
I have not met a D person.
That's so strange. It's already. I guess it's already diverted so hard.
Wait, so when Tarrant is first introduced, he's introduced through a different character or through another character in your...
No, he does meet William, and then he does something, and he's basically like really humble, and he doesn't really say who he is, and then the other character comes up and goes, "Oh, that's Tarrant LeBlanc, and here's why you need to know him," and he goes about all these escapades about like the jousting tournaments and all the different kings. Is it kings that he's fighting? Yeah.
Yes. That is so interesting.
And then it kind of bleeds back into Tarrant doing stuff with us very specific. Like it goes from that story to like I'd say like a past to the present, where it starts telling about Tarrant doing something with it. Someone else, you'll see. I don't think you're quite there yet, but
Okay.
and then after that it keeps going where now they're traveling. But yeah, it seems like
That is very, very interesting.
it's like the same info, just a different way. Because yeah, like the first part, everything is blocked off in quotations, like someone's speaking.
And how many pages did you say that the book has in...
At least 600.
Or I think on regular font, mine is like 684 or something like that. This is going to be very interesting when we find out. Okay.
see if I can find it. There it is.
I would like to say that we will be finished in 2 weeks, but who are we kidding, right? You know, with
I mean, I'll be done tonight.
really?
No.
Brian, I was just about to say.
I can't find his name. I don't know where it is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have not met him yet. And it's very interesting how the chapters are set up so differently.
So you don't have like chapter,
No,
chapter.
no.
chapter.
There are like breaks in the readings, but nothing.
I wonder if your chapters are done. Is that one of the chapter titles?
Let me see.
I wonder if your breaks are just my chapters.
So, for instance, chapter 1 in Apple Books is Count William of Warwick. Chapter 2 is the tournament. Chapter 3 is Sicily.
Okay, yeah. I mean that follows because I'm in the Sicily section.
Okay, but I mean they're broken up differently.
Yeah, well, I mean my chapters are each chapter has that long, almost a sentence to explain what's about to happen anyway.
Okay.
But I don't know. It seems like it's tracking for the most part.
Okay. No, I think it's sort of good that we're reading different editions because then we can compare and see how.
Or confuse each other further.
Yes. Yes. Are you enjoying it so far? I mean, the very little that we've read since.
It's like I think I mentioned this before too. It's like I don't know. It's not bad and it's not boring. I guess whenever I decide to pick it up is when I just fall asleep. But it's not. I don't feel like it's the book's fault. I don't feel like it's like putting me to sleep.
I was thinking the same. When I really get into the groove of reading, I'm actually really enjoying it.
Right.
It's just making time for it at night, especially when you're so sleepy from waking up so early. I mean, and from all of the strenuous exercise, what can I say?
Right.
You know, I mean, we're after Goggins' greatness here.
You get the greatness, and I'll just take some joy greatness. I'll do that. I'll take a couple of steps down. I don't know if I can do all that. But,
All right. I mean, I will give you further updates as they develop, and we'll see where this goes.
right.
We'll see where this goes. So it's really, really funny. Goggins, you know, is always. I mean, I don't think preach is the right word, but he is always advocating for you to be your best self.
Right.
You
That's
know, and
good advice.
and he feels that anybody can transform their lives with the right mindset.
Right.
And I can see that. But then another person who I greatly admire, the wonderful philosopher Alan Watts.
Right.
I actually came across a lecture that I had not heard in a while. And according to him, you really can't change yourself. I mean, you are who you are, and you might as well accept it. So maybe I can just strive to be my best self, but then realize that if I can't, I'm just who I am.
Well, maybe your best self is who you are. What? You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting.
Yes.
You know what I'm driving towards.
No, so like, I sort of see both sides, but both of them make a lot of sense to me, but in different ways.
Right.
So.
Right. But I guess if you want to accomplish something, not having a mindset where you can't change it, that's not the best way to go. Where someone inspires you to push yourself. I see nothing wrong with pushing yourself.
Yeah. But what Alan Watts was saying is that the person who wants to make wait, let's see. How did he say it exactly? I don't remember. I think it was something along the lines of the person who is trying to make the improvement is the one who wants it. But do you know what I'm talking about? Like if you.
Because that's what you want. If that's what you want, so that's who you are, right?
You can't lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's actually impossible. It's a saying,
Right.
but it doesn't really make any sense because you can't.
And because my shoes don't have laces.
Well, that works too. That works too.
It's gonna be me and my strapless shoe are just sleeping in.
But, yes. That sums it up. You can't lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. Whether you have them or not.
I can get behind it. I mean, I have to. I got a choice.
So, yeah. I mean, I see that mindset too.
Right.
It's really weird. I mean, I guess life is full of those contradictions, though. Don't you think?
Oh yeah. No, totally. Very much so.
And I thought of something else. Do you remember how how we were talking about certain things that bother us?
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, this chair. Speaking of bother, this chair. I somehow got the one that's. I slouch, so I got.
Does it lean too far back?
Now it does.
Mine's
It was making me have good posture, and that's just. It's trying to lift me up, and I don't need that. But the things that bother you.
Yes. Is there anything else that bugs you besides the cornstarch? Surely there is.
I'm sure there's lots of. Most things are like tactile, like certain blankets. I don't like the feel of.
Really? Luke is the same way. His blanket is almost in tatters, but he's like, I have to find this exact same texture.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
But it's
so
not. I
interesting.
mean, it's not like everything. But there's certain textures I just don't like.
Okay. This just made me think of you because it happened the other morning. A strand from my makeup brush got on my face.
Right.
And do you know that ticklish sensation?
Right.
Brian, it drives me absolutely crazy. And I couldn't find it. I thought I was going mad. And I mean, it's almost a form of torture for me.
Did you know it was a makeup brush at the time while you were trying to look for something, or did you finally found it and that's when you realized what it was?
I had a feeling that's what it was. But
How long
like
did it last for?
it's light in color, so I had the hardest time locating it, but I felt it.
How long did it tickle you for?
Oh gosh, too long. And I was it really is a form of torture for me. I mean, if anybody was to torture me that way, I'll tell you anything. I mean, who needs pain, right? Just
Well, speaking of, I'm listening to 50 Shades Darker.
Are you really?
So some people need that pain. And apparently that person is me.
You did not tell me you started listening to it.
I don't know. I waited.
How does it compare to?
It's okay. When I say this, I don't want to mean that I think the first one is good, but this one it's not as good.
In what sense?
Oh, I'm not even halfway through it. I'm almost halfway, and I just think like, what's the point of this? Like, I don't see a reason for it. And then on top of that, I know that there's still a half a book plus a whole other book, and I'm like, something's bound to happen, but it's just kind of like drawn out so far. And like, I get it, Anastasia. Christian Grey is gorgeous. Stop telling me every time you see him how we understand that. And
So it's painfully drawn out.
yeah. Oh. And then something that I forgot about from the first book that just drove me crazy. I think it's so dumb. And then it only took 24 and a half minutes for her to mention her inner goddess, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this stuff." And it's just like it's so cheesy.
Okay. Smutty and cheesy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got its moments of smuttiness, but I don't know. I'm not.
Can you give us an idea of why it's called 50 Shades Darker? Does the title come into play in any way?
Not yet, but like I said, I'm not. I still got over half half a book, so I don't know yet.
Okay, well, I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, there.
So when you finish the audiobook, you'll have to give us full details.
There's a
Well, maybe not full details.
they were on a boat, and there's something else that.
What is it about boats? Because do you remember Naughty Boy? Did parts of that take place on a boat as well?
Yes, this. A lot of emotions, I guess. a lot of rocking
Crashing waves.
Waves, yeah.
Yes, yes. That's important.
But I don't know. I don't.
Will you finish it?
Well, yeah. I gotta see what's the purpose of this. Anyways, I guess if someone's read it, they'll just be like, or they're probably thinking, just wait. You'll see what happens. Because I said there's still so much of it to go, and that's what I'm not sure about.
I have always been tickled by the fact that you were just really able to push yourself through these really, really, I mean, I don't want to say bad because I guess the term is relative. Or the, these.
This one.
All right, so it's, yes.
Yeah, I guess the first one just had like the novelty of being like silly of why I was doing it, I guess. And then this one, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Watch it come, watch I finish it, and like this is the best thing. Get through the first part. I mean, the first part's like not, they immediately get back together, surprise, surprise, and then they go to like the ball, and that's why on the cover there's like the mask, and like things just happen, but it's not like. But I just, what's the point of it? I'm not following the reasoning behind all this stuff.
Okay. The story doesn't seem to fit together as well as the first one. I mean, it's just sort of
there. But so is the first. I mean, the first one's still kind of there. But at least they're meeting, and she doesn't know what he's about, and now they know what they're about, and they're just trying to come to terms with each other. I guess stay or like balance each other, but it seems like they're always causing more problems when they're just get on the same level. Y'all are fine. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's
very interesting.
We were driving home from my niece's birthday party. They live a couple hours away, and everyone in the car was asleep. So I was like, well, I guess I'll go ahead and catch up. And Colby wakes up. I wasn't expecting to wake up to 50 Shades of Grey. And I'm like, well,
Oh my goodness. Which are you liking better? I mean, I guess it's too soon to say.
Out of the two books?
Yes, it
Neither.
seems like you were leaning. I just can't believe how long 50 Shades of Grey was on the New York Times bestseller list. This was before I even knew anything about it.
Right.
Every time I checked the list, it was always at number 1. And I thought, maybe I should see what this is about. I mean, because I really felt like I was missing out.
Right.
And then once I realized, I thought, oh, maybe not. Do you see the hype, though?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not the target market, I guess. But I don't know.
Are you sure? Because you're on your second one.
Well, but I gotta. I'll get to the third one eventually. I don't know.
Are there 3 books in the series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3 books, and then she does it. She writes it again from Christian Grey's perspective.
Wait, there's another.
There's a whole other series. Yeah,
Another series?
6 in total. Yeah.
From.
Mm-hmm. So there's 50 Shades of Grey, the 50 Shades Darker, and then the 50 Shades Freed, and then it jumps to Grey, Darker, and Freed, which is Christian's point of view, apparently.
Okay, that's very interesting. All right, you will have to enlighten us.
Right.
What is the magic of the number 50 in the story? Is there even a correlation?
Yeah, he just.
There are 50 ways to do this or that. I don't know.
In PG terms, he says that he's 50 shades of messed up. And so now she goes around, especially in this book, it's like you could tell that she continued based on the success of the first one or something, where like this one she's like, oh, and then 50 did this and 50 did that, and look at them beautiful eyes again. I'm like, I get it, I understand, he's chiseled. Like, I don't, can we, and like, oh, and then she keeps, it's so much time wasted on
She
repeating-
meaning E.O. James or Anastasia?
both. They're wasting so much time just refreshing the complaints over and over.
You know what that book reminds me of, or that description. Need to know.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
or like they'll be in the middle of doing something, or it's supposed to be like a suspenseful scene, and she turns and she goes, but why doesn't he want to do, and it like completely arcs to some other point, so that way the plot can, I guess, incorporate this, because she's, what they're trying to do is tame Christian for Anastasia's sake, but Anastasia's trying to come to terms with wanting a spanking. That's or I mean, she's gotten a couple, but like full force, and so that's what they're trying to, I get what you're trying to do, but it just seems like it's just kind of dragging.
Okay, that is hilarious. Wow.
I don't know why I'm doing this myself.
Okay, so I guess, since you've started and you're now already on the second audiobook, you just have to finish.
I have to finish.
Right?
I'll finish. Like I said, I gotta drive. I gotta be places.
Okay, so I didn't even know that there was a series or a book from Christian's point of view, or those on audiobook.
I haven't looked yet.
Okay, because you've started, you have to finish the whole thing. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's my equivalent of pushing myself to make myself a better. It's my 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Speaking of 50 Shades, do you remember my cookbook?
Oh yeah, the chicken one.
Yes. 50 Shades of,
Chicken or something like that.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
How to
All right,
trust a chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, so maybe since you're listening to the audiobook, maybe I should start cooking from that cookbook. Then we can maybe compare.
Oh yeah. No, that cookbook's probably more entertaining than.
It is hilarious. I laughed for a good, yeah. It's, okay. I've got to get back to it, and I love chicken, so maybe I should.
How much do you love chicken?
Well, how many ways can you trust it? Let me count the ways. I don't know.
Well, if anything, just cook it on a boat. Goggins inspired, Goggins approved.